CEO Ronald Nicklin from Creating the Difference. Today we're going to talk about the brand new Hammer Artic Vibe. This ball is cool as ice, so I had to bring out the shades. The Hammer Vibe features the Vibe core shape. We're talking a little bit about that in detail here in a second. The RG is 2.510. The differential is 0.042, and it's a symmetric ball, so the mass bias is 0.001. It features the HK22 cover stock, which is one of those cover stocks that Brunswick is using a lot that gives them a lot of great performance. The scan is 5,000 grit. The absorption on this bowling ball happens to be fast, and the layout is always our 60 by 4.5 by 30. Check the hardness on all bowling balls. This one happens to be 74. And what's interesting about the Vibe core is that the Vibe core actually comes from the Vicious Strike that was made in 2003. So let me give you a little brief history because you're not going to see this on any other ball review. So back in '02, I designed the Hammer Vicious bowling ball, and the Hammer Vicious bowling ball was actually the first high performance ball that I designed for that company when Ebonite acquired the Hammer brand. Now what's interesting is that core that's in the Vicious bowling ball was one of the older Hammer brand core shapes changed and tweaked to fit the Ebonite International process. And we didn't have any brand new core shapes to put into that line until we got to Vicious Strike. So Vicious Strike actually was the first brand new core shape that was used by Ebonite International for the Hammer brand. And that core shape is actually the Vibe core shape. Now what's interesting is that one of the main differences between the Vicious Strike and the Vibe was that the Vicious Strike had a very large pancake on top of it to get the differential very high to make it a high performance bowling ball. And then once over time that bowling ball core shape stayed in the line because it was a good core shape, it just ended up dropping down into the Vibe price point. When you got to the Vibe price point, the pancake got smaller, it ended up being a little bit less differential, and now that name and that plate still lives on to this day. So I'm pretty excited to be able to throw this bowling ball and be able to show you exactly what it does. So let's find out together. HK22 on the Vibe core shape. All right, shot number one is good. You know, one of the other things that I think is really interesting is that, so back in the day when I was designing bowling balls, which was a long time ago, you know, the ball companies, all four brands, would have different names for their cover stocks. But the truth of the matter was a lot of those cover stocks were the same. Now what we're seeing, especially out of the Brunswick family, is that they're just saying, hey, if we like HK22 and it's on this ball, we're just putting HK22 on the ball and that's what it's called. Oh, it's close, close. So I think that's good. Now they've got different variations, so they say, of that cover stock. But I like the fact that they are just saying what it is. I really appreciate that from them. So I think consumers do too. Come on. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one too. This is gonna be a good one too. So what I see initially is it has more of an angular core shape, angular shape as opposed to the continuous shape. Typically Vibe balls tend to be continuous, but this one, see, looks like she's got a little bit more angle on the back end, which may be very, very advantageous for that product line. Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely put this one more in the angular category, which is interesting too because the white color that's in this bowling ball is a powdered pigment to be able to get the white, and that typically means the bowling ball will roll kind of early. Like that's typically what that means. But this ball is not rolling early by any means. It's clean and it's angular. That one's left. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's cool, man. Let me see how far. So that was definitely left. Looks like about 2 on the front and 2 down lane 2. So definitely left. We got the lucky hit. We'll take it. Keep going. And side note, so like that's the benefit of an angular shape. So the angular balls, when you miss out, in my case to the left, because they're angular, you can still get the ball to come back. And that's a good thing. Now, if you're bowling on a sport pattern, that's actually terrible because you're going to lose your ability to control the pocket. But we're not. We're bowling on a house pattern. That just wasn't as good of a shot. I like these colors, man. They're definitely going to stand out on the wall at your pro shop. You'll know exactly what ball this is. And the Vibe series is kind of famous for doing that too. Loud colors, great performance, value price. You know exactly what it's going to do when you let it go. That is a good quality to have because that means you're going to be able to throw a lot of strikes for a long period of time. Let's do some of these in the dark. So man, look, if you've had a Vibe ball, why don't you tell us in the comments what your favorite Vibe ball of all time is? If you haven't had a Vibe ball, then, well, you gotta go try one. Now, you're not gonna have room in, right? I missed that in there, you're not gonna have room in, but you will have room left. Yeah. Yeah, she's cool. She's real, real cool. Let's throw a few more shots. Yeah, I really got over that one. I really got on that one. Still, man, a lot of versatility here. I really think this is going to be a good piece. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. It strikes a lot. Left. Doesn't matter. That's the beautiful part about a bowling ball that's angular. Left, but it can make it up in the back and you still get strike. All right. Let's give you one more straighter, just so you can see. I will decrease the rev rates, decrease the rotation to allow me to move left. I like you, and I want you. Maybe Chris will show where that came from. Anyway, now you have more information about the brand new Hammer Artic Vibe. If you're interested, man, go to the website, ctdbowling.com, pick one of these bad boys up. You can add a sanding pad to it for free. If you're not a member of our staff, join our staff. The staff is able to get free information, free coaching, and help you to become a better bowler. On behalf of Creating the Difference, I am CEO Ronald Hicklin. Talk to you soon.
What? I like you, and I want you. The choice is yours.